What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the scours of the internet, here with another episode of Panthers Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. Now, let's go ahead, get into this docket. Round 2 and 3 are over, and man, oh man, oh man, we honestly are looking pretty good. We're honestly looking pretty solid, pretty tight, in my opinion, and I think Carolina did a good job. I'm not upset with the direction they went because we saw that they went with two edge rushers in both with round 2 and round 3 in Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen. And when we look at it, first of all, let's look at Nick Scorton. The man in 12 games, 37 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumbled. The man was a beast at Texas A&M. Like, there's no doubt about it. He could end up being the steal of this draft for the Carolina Panthers when it's all said and done. And he wasn't on my radar. I'll be the guy to admit that. But when I've seen the film and I've seen the talent, it's there. The potential's there. I'm always going to say the potential's there for a player. So I can see the vision. And then you have the man that has been on my target and has been on my watch list, Princely Umanmielen. I am so happy that Carolina was able to pick Princely Umanmielen up because when you look at the numbers, 37 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Almost the exact same numbers as Nick Scorton. So truth be told, it's kind of great that you got 2-for-1 here. You have 2-for-1 deals where both guys are great edge rushers and can do their thing. He just has more sacks, so he's able to get to the quarterback better. But when it's all said and done, man, they're both great players to put on the D-line. And now you have 2 pieces for the core. You got a 2-for-1 deal in my mind because now you're like, all right, we have both our edge rushers. We have both our guys who can go and get the quarterback. We have both of those building blocks for the foreseeable future. So I truthfully am okay with this. I am truthfully happy with this, and I am content. Did I want a DB in this round? Round 2 or 3? Yes, I did. But 2 edge rushers, considering that Carolina needs front 7 and edge rush help, I'm not mad. I'm honestly not mad. I'm not mad about it, man. But when you look at how we got here, man, you got to look at this because this happened between trades with Denver as well as New England. And I want to look at the Denver trade first because when we look at the Denver trade, we gave up the 57th pick, the 74th, the 111th, and the 230th to gain the 51st, the 84th, the 122nd, and the 208th. So we moved up in the second round, dropped back in the 3rd and 4th, and then moved up from the 7th round to the 6th round. And following that, you have the trade with New England where Carolina gave up the 85th and the 146th to move up to the 77th. Overall, man, the Denver trade, I'm okay with 100% because it's essentially a 1-for-1. Yeah, we moved back in 2 of those rounds, but we also moved up in 2 rounds. So it was honestly a 1-for-1 trade. I have no issues. We didn't lose any assets around that unless you're considering personnel getting drafted before we can pick them. But overall, we didn't lose any assets. The New England trade, in an ideal world, do I wish that could have been a 1-for-1? Absolutely. But we were not holding the cards there. New England held the cards. They could make the demands. So I'm not surprised that they said, give us an additional pick and we'll give you the 77th. That is what it is. That's the nature of the game. But truth be told, we had a pick to spare. We had 2 picks to spare. So we're not hurt. We still have a total of 8 picks in the draft as of right now, heading into day 3. So I'm not complaining about that one bit. And lastly, speaking of the final day of the draft, the direction we're going. the direction Carolina's going. When I look at it and I think about it, Carolina, first things first, you have to get a DB in these rounds. Fourth, fifth, sixth, you have to get a DB. You have to get secondary help. Whether it's a corner or a safety, you have to get it. Because if you don't, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's be honest. We know the secondary as it is the better part of our defense. It's not great. It could be better. And we need that. We've addressed the front seven. We've addressed the receiving core. Let's address the secondary. You spent all the money on the O-line and free agency, so let's address the secondary right now. And if you want to bolster the O-line or the D-line, primarily the D-line before the O-line, I'm cool with that. But please, for the love of all that is good and holy, please go get a DB. Please go get a DB. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of fans would greatly appreciate that. I'm sure the state of North Carolina, who cheers for you, would greatly appreciate that. That's just me. I'm just speaking for me. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, what do I know, bro? Because I want y'all to let me know. Y'all let me know your comments and your thoughts about everything that's been going down. How do you feel about Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen getting picked? How do you feel about the trades that went down on day 2? How do you feel going into today, into day 3, and the final day of the draft, with the 4th round, the 5th round, the 6th round being where Carolina is picking? Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of you, Panther Nation. Take care. God bless. Later days. I'll see y'all next time. And as always, keep pounding.